That's why it's very important for you. How do you do it? Very simple. Throughout the day, every time you get an opportunity, just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? That's it. How am I feeling right now? And the more you're able to articulate your emotion, you nail it. Like if my son comes and says, Mama, I am angry, I don't get it. But if he comes and says, Mama, I am actually feeling annoyed, I get it, that annoyance. If he comes and tells me I'm frustrated, I get it. And same in the organization. When you articulate and label the feeling, the conversations become deeper and meaningful.
And I'm going to please welcome back to the stage to talk to you on how we can use that emotional intelligence in this people and culture space, Vanita Chowdhury.
Thank you so much, Craig, and good evening. I know it's the end of the day. So, what is that one skill that is guaranteed to give you success, money, business, clients, and a happy life? Wow, sounds so nice, all these words. Honestly, what is that one skill? Any idea, anyone? Obviously, Craig introduced it as in emotional intelligence. It's actually, sorry, yeah, go ahead. I get that. He says emotional intelligence, you say people skill, what else? Empathy, of course. Anything else? Come on, you lovely ladies. Human-centeredness. Wow, Kavita, that's a brilliant word indeed. In fact, every time I speak about EI to corporates, and the moment I say EI, it's like switch off. Oh, don't get that. But when I say, hey, would you want less attrition? You want more productivity? Do you want more connection? Do you want employee loyalty? Do you want employment engagement? And they say, yeah, I need it all. I say, buddy, that is what is EI all about. That is it. In fact, I should share with you. So I've been an EI practitioner professionally for the last decade, but I fell in love with this word in 1995 when I graduated. That's when Daniel Goleman's book released called Emotional, where he broke all myth that IQ is the most needed skill. It was so tough to get that book in Bangalore, Gangaram's. I had to place an order to get one, and I still remember that. And that's where my love affair fell with that concept. But today it's a skill. It's no more a trait. It's no more than genes. It's actually something you can learn. All right? Now, why is it so critical for business entrepreneurs like you and HR leaders like you seated right here? A lot of studies in the past decade has proven that EI is one of the most critical skills you've got to have as a leader. The World Economic Forum, you look at all their reports in the last 5 years, till 2025 they have released top skills needed for you to be in a job. You can't miss EI. Take their 2018, take their 2020, take their 2022 and 2025. Everything talks about EI. In fact, when COVID happened, the Marriott CEO, Arnie, came on video for his employees. And the hotel industry was badly hit with COVID. Terribly, I can't even say the word bad. It was like a tsunami for the hotel industry. And Arnie actually was diagnosed with cancer. He was in the last stages of his life. And he had to let go many of his employees because of this pandemic. He comes on the video. And if you have the opportunity to watch that on YouTube, please do. And you find this gentleman talking about the relationship and nothing to do with a brand or a logo or anything else. The bond he created with this team, even in that most dire situation. And I am a Marriott member for the last 12, 13 years, and I live only in their hotels wherever I travel, so I know people very closely. And I can vouch, not a single person quit, even if there was no salary being paid in full. So what can you do as a leader to develop EI? Is it developable? The answer is yes, of course. So here's what I'm going to really tell you. First thing is self-reflection. Every journey begins with you. You got to know who you are really deep. And that's for me is self-reflection. It starts with you. Once you're clear about yourself is when you can actually go reach someone else. Right? And that's awareness of others. I'm sure all of you have flown at least once in your life. Yes? Yes? What is the announcement? The beautiful air hostess in a lovely voice says, or a man who's hosting that day's flight say, when it comes to the oxygen mask, anyone knows? Even if your children, the most loved possession of our life sitting next to us, they say, hello, first put yours first before you get help us. That's it. If you as a leader are not aware and you don't even have your own oxygen mask, how can you even think of helping others? And that's what starts with you and then others. And both these lead into something called building trust and empathy. I don't remember the leader, how much money and bonus and hike they gave me in the last 21 years of my corporate life. But I still do remember the bosses who stood by me when I had tough times, when I couldn't perform, when I had bad day in the family, and somebody passed away. I still remember, I became a mother after 10 years of my marriage. So you can imagine having a baby after a decade. I had, as it is, a lot of pressure from everyone, like, oh my God, you're going to have a baby. And for me, it was like, just get him out or her safely. That's it, I'm done. And then within 6 months, I had to, come back to work. Imagine a little baby in Mumbai. And I have to go to Ahmedabad to work for training. And I get a call from my husband saying, hey, my son Adrian is not keeping well. I'm concerned. Imagine on the phone he says, my son is unwell and I'm concerned. My first thing is now I'm delivering a session like this. The emotions all switched off. It's of concern. And in the tea break, I see my bosses call me 5 times. She generally never calls when we are in sessions. She called me 5 times. And I pick up the phone and she says, are you in Ahmedabad? I say, yes. I say, why? You know that there's a concern. One of your friends told me there's a problem at home. I just want you to pack and leave. Let the training be. We'll see that later. And I was like, are you saying this to me? She says, yes, of course. Forget the money, forget the cost. Just come back because even if you're there, you're not fully there. It just doesn't make sense. But luckily, thanks to my good doctor in Mumbai, I still owe it to her. She was able to manage my son for the day and I flew in after the session got over. Even today, after so many, it's almost 13 years my son was born. I still remember that example vividly because that made a huge impact in me. And honestly, when you look back of your life, if you're celebrating your 90th birthday, when you really look back, I don't think it really matters how much money you gave to people. What really matters is what impact have you left on people? Who have you touched? What is the difference you have made in someone's life? So before we go in longer, which I'm not going to do that, I have very few quick 7 strategies that I want you to quickly do. And for this, I really want you to do a little bit of activity. So let me give you quickly, firstly, name your feelings daily. How aware of your feelings are you? So can you just look at person behind you, next to you, and share quickly top 5 feelings from morning 9 o'clock till now, what feelings are going in the last 12 hours? Can you just quickly look around and quickly share? As many feelings you can remember from morning 9 till now. Come on, give it a try. You can tell me or you can tell her. Please come get up. Yeah, of course. Quickly share with each other, just the feelings. And just count it, okay? Count it. Come on, another 20 seconds. 20 seconds, come on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you. All right, do you all have a number? How many feelings could you? Totally 10? 10? Okay. How many could you remember? 5? 5. More than 10 together or alone? Or you're in that bliss zone? I love it. I think we should catch up after this call to get that little secret out of you. Actually speaking, I do workshop for children on EI. So that's my passion. That's what I love giving back. Can you take a guess? And her daughter comes to my class, so she knows what I do. Can you take a guess, anyone in the room, how many emotions or feelings 10-year, 11-year-old child can say? Sorry? Easily 25, non-stop. They just know it, they feel it, they are in it. That's why it's very important for you. How do you do it? Very simple. Throughout the day, every time you get an opportunity, just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? That's it. How am I feeling right now? And the more you're able to articulate your emotion, you nail it. Like if my son comes and says, Mama, I am angry, I don't get it. But if he comes and says, Mama, I am actually feeling annoyed, I get it, that annoyance. If he comes and tells me I'm frustrated, I get it. And same in the organizations. When you articulate and label the feeling, the conversations become deeper and meaningful. Yeah? Increase your joy. Now this is tough one, but simple example to say is that joy is much, much more than just happiness. All right? So what can you do to create joy in your life? Because you are resonating your energy to your teams. And hence, I'm not asking you to be in 24/7 joy, bliss state. However, do something that makes you happy every day. If you like music, listen to it, get that joy space. You like reading books, which I know my good friend does. Read books to get into that zone. You want to do Zumba, just do it. The whole idea is, do you know what gets you that joy? Do you know what moment, what relationship, what connect gets that joy which you thoroughly enjoy? Third one is choose positive self-regulation. Especially during COVID, lot of organizations and families were devastated with deaths and whatnot. Many of them either have gone into alcohol, drug abuse, or things which are not conducive. So one of the things when change or conflict or devastating things happen, try to have conversations. Try to have someone whom you really believe, or don't even know, like counseling, like Karthik does counseling. But the key thing is look at positive self-regulatory ideas like connecting to people or having a zone where you have a group that can help each other. Manage your self-talk. What do you talk to your brain? Do you say, I'm terrible, I'm pathetic, how can I be so silly? Or you say, oh my God, I'm so awesome, I am the best. Self-affirmation, looking at yourself, there's none like you because everybody else is taken. So what is the talk you're telling yourself? I'm a pathetic leader, or are you saying that I'm a leader in learning process? I may not know everything, but I'm there. And what you self-talk is what you behave. Your thoughts drive your action, behavior, and decisions. Learn to listen. I think we spoke a lot about this. I'm not going to go back here, but I think the power of listening is amazing. Amazing, to say the least. What can you do to listen? Simple. In every time you're having meetings and conversation, ask yourself, how many minutes did I speak? And how many minutes did I really listen? So have this conscious clock, or keep someone in your team who will give you that, you've spoken a lot now, some kind of a methodology that will tell you what you can do. Move towards relationship. I think this is one of the basic one, is have great relationship with self, self-love, self-compassion, because that's what would lead into greater relationship with your team. If your team member is not coming up to you to say what is the problem they have, that means you just don't have that relationship with them. If nobody talks in your team and there's no conflict, it's like an ECG with a deadbeat. You need to have something going on which gets into relationship. And emotional intelligence exactly does that. And the last thing that I want to tell you all is, as you start today, after this meet, ask yourself in a day, how much can you focus on others? And that is nothing but observation skill. And you can only observe another person if you are calm, composed, and your EI is manageable. If you have high emotions all over, obviously you're oblivious to people who are actually trying to tell you that there's a problem with me, and you're like, yeah. So that's it from my end.